بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد وقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم اللهم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Recite Durood Sharif. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. وقال تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. All praises are due to Allah Rabbul Izzati wal Jalal, our nourisher, our sustainer, our protector, our guide, the Lord of all the worlds that we know of and that we don't know of. And peace and salutations be upon our beloved Master Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, through whose guidance and through whose teachings we are able to attain success in this world, the qabr and the akhirah. Inshallah, ameen ya rabbal alameen. This week in the khutbah, I would like to focus on a certain type of disease, not a medical disease, and not even a spiritual disease. It's actually a different one, and actually one that is something that affects one and all that follow this beautiful deen of Islam. Something that is known as Islamophobia, and something that affects and discriminates and prejudices the Muslim community here in the UK, and not only just here in the UK, but also throughout the world in various places. We hear about it regularly, we see it on social media, we see it on the news, and sometimes, Allah protect us, we are unfortunate enough to experience it ourselves. May Allah Ta'ala protect us all. Now, Islamophobia can manifest itself in many different ways. Whether it is someone ridiculing our beautiful religion, inciting hatred towards Islam and Muslims, or in even worse cases where a person gets physically or verbally attacked or is targeted in some way, shape or form. Now the worrying thing for us is that these attacks are rising, they're becoming more and more common. And what is more concerning is the fact that how Islamophobia has become almost ingrained and institutionalized within certain sections of the media and even in the government. And you may say, how have you got this? I mean, you take example during the COVID-19 pandemic. If you looked at articles that were shared on social media, many a times they showed a burqa-clad woman, a woman in niqab or hijab, and together with that they would hype up the fact that, you know what, COVID-19 is increasing rapidly, as if it was Muslims that had to do with it. Yet we make up what, 5% of the country's population? From the government side, we've seen so many cases of MPs and others, blaming Muslims for a variety of things. We've seen it recently in the media, about what people have said. One of the former prime ministers, don't know how long this guy is going to last. Is he going to outlast the lettuce or the cabbage? But one of them, how he referred to our Muslim sisters as suicide bombers, as post boxes, letter boxes. This sort of terminology that is used against such a small minority. Now Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam has said, مثل المؤمنين في توادهم وتراحمهم وتعاطفهم مثل الجسد إذا اشتكى منه عضو تداعى له سائر الجسد بالسهر والهمة. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, the believers in their mutual mercy, love and compassion are like a single body. The ummah is like a single body. And if one part of it feels pain, then the rest of the body will join in it. It's going to join the pain. The rest of the body feels that pain. Yeah, it keeps a person, that pain may keep a person awake. That pain may lead to fever. So the whole body goes through difficulty. And similarly, the ummah. Yeah, there's a reminder that we as an ummah should not just sit back and remain unaware of the issues our community faces. We shouldn't turn a blind eye in the hope that it will not affect us directly. Or have the attitude that only we have to worry about ourselves. Some people will say, no, just nafsi, nafsi. And we all know that on the day of Qiyamah, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam will call out, Ya Rabbi, ummati, ummati. Oh my Rabb, oh my Lord, my whole ummah. And similarly, as lovers and followers of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, we should have the same worry and concern about everyone in our community. It's not about, am I on the right path? I'm reading my 5 times salah, I make regular adhkar, I give charity regularly, I fast, optional fast regularly, I give out my zakat, I give lillah, I volunteer my time in the path of Allah, I spend time in the path of Allah, and that's it. But rather, as a community, we have this responsibility, and there's many reasons why we as Muslims, we need to be actively at the forefront of tackling issues. What sort of issues? The ones that our community faces. When I say our community here, I'm referring specifically to the Muslims. Not to say that everything else must be disregarded, but for the Muslims, yes, we should have this worry and concern. If someone is going through some difficulty, we should do what is within our means and our ability and our knowledge and our intellect and our expertise to help and assist such people. You know, Hazrat, there's an interesting hadith that is mentioned in Ibn Majah. Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala an, as-Siddiq, he comes to the Sahaba and he says to them an ayah. He recites a verse of the noble Quran, which is mentioned, Surah Ma'idah, ayah number 105. What does he say? يا أيها الذين آمنوا عليكم أنفسكم لا يضركم من ضل إذا اهتديتم. That, O you who believe, you are responsible for your own souls, and if anyone else goes astray, it will not harm you so long as you follow the guidance. Then Abu Bakr as-Siddiq tells the Sahaba that many people are taking, imagine this time where the Sahaba were in their prime. They had just lost Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and already people were misguided or misunderstanding certain things, rather. Not misguided, but misunderstanding certain ayat. Obviously, the Sahaba were definitely not misguided. They are actually our guiding stars. And he says that, you know, people are taking this verse, they're not applying it properly. And what he said is that some of the companions understand this verse in a very restricted sense. And sometimes if we don't have the correct knowledge and understanding of Arabic first and foremost. Secondly, if you don't understand why an ayah was revealed, what was the shan-e-nuzul, the reason for it being revealed by Allah Ta'ala to Rasulullah Sallallahu Ta'ala Alaihi Wasallam, then this will become a problem that will affect us all. So problems affecting the community, he said that these are problems, if there are problems affecting the community, as well as looking after yourself, we have to make sure that we look after others. It's completely wrong to think we only worry about ourselves. Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu says, and he narrates, ألا وإني سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول, he says, I make you witness, that I heard Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam says, إِنَّ الْقَوْمَ إِذَا رَأَوُا الظَّالِمِ فَلَمْ يَأْخُذُوا عَلَى يَدَيْهِ وَالْمُنْكَرَ فَلَمْ يُغَيِّرُوهُ عَمَّهُمُ اللَّهُ بِعِقَابِهِ. What does he say? That Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, this is what I heard from him, that when people see an oppressor and don't hold that person accountable, or they see an evil being committed and they do not do anything to change it, then Allah Ta'ala will punish everyone. Everyone will be responsible. Everyone has a collective responsibility. So the ruling is clear. We concentrate on ourselves, and yes, we know that who our enemies, whoever they may be, cannot harm us except by the will and the whatever the nasib and taqdeer that Allah Ta'ala has placed for us. Yeah. But we have to do something when we see any of these things, oppression. You see someone doing something wrong. Look at the trouble that happened. Yeah, and we keep on referring to this over and over when those people marched on Green Lane Road, 200-300 people. And what happened? The Hindus called it out as Muslims terrorizing the Hindus. Look at the articles. If you haven't seen them, look it up. There's lots of articles where they have blamed you and me. Why? Because we have stood up to protect ourselves. And if we don't take a stance, among the community, there are some people who are very eloquent in their speech. They're very articulate in their writing. They're very intelligent when it comes to different laws. Yet we restrict that to where we get paid. So if I get paid, then I will do the job. If I don't get, then I'm not going to do. Yet we have organizations. How many of you have heard of MEND? Put your hand up, please. If you've heard of MEND, an organization called MEND. Please can you go home today and Google it. Or at some point today, Google who is MEND. Yeah? And see what a big difference they are making. Yeah? However, if you look at their team, they are made up of different people in the community, young, old, male, female, people who have different expertise and different knowledge, and all with one aim and one goal, and that is for the safety and the protection of the ummah. Associated with them or linked to them in some way, there's something called the IRU, not the IRA, the IRU, Islamophobia Response Unit. You are affected by Islamophobia, Google IRU, you can contact them and they will help and assist you. We've had people that have come to us and said, Moulana, I had an incident, I contacted the police, they did nothing about it. Yeah? And we have raised this with the acting police chief. Yeah? We've raised it with the city's main police officers. And we've highlighted that many Muslims, many a times when they're targeted, they're not comfortable coming to you, or they're not confident in coming to you. So what do? Especially in an area like this, some of you have told me that you have faced some sort of racism. Can you tell me, put your hands up, no one is watching, the camera is on me. If you have faced any type of Islamophobia or racism. No one? One, mashallah. Don't feel shy, I'm not going to tell everyone and call out your name. I faced it a lot. I moved in this area 15 years ago. Yeah, and believe you me, we faced a lot. And every time we phoned the police, yeah, you get a letter 28 days later, sorry, there's nothing to go by. There was once a camera facing my house, and a guy was standing there urinating in my yard, and when I went to challenge him, 6, 7 other lads came and they wanted to hit me, so I just, moved back. The police saw it on the council's camera and they said, oh, sorry, it's not good enough quality. It just got thrown out. I can assure you, MEND organization has helped us in many issues and many difficulties and challenges. I'll give you a simple example, 3 years now. Yeah? What's the date today, someone? 4th. In 3 days' time, it will be exactly 3 years since we spoke to the council about doing something about this building. We are having to have 2 Jumu'ah Salah. It costs us more, yeah? It costs us more in staff, imams, etc., running the heating, etc., etc., if we have to have 2 Jamaats. The building, if you look around this square dome that we have, yeah, is all single glazed. There's very little insulation here. And we've been trying very hard. But we still haven't got the support. And yet, if you look around the city, how many of you have seen a derelict piece of land or empty piece of land, and within 1-2 years, from an empty piece of land or barren piece of land, it has been completely transformed, yeah, into a block of flats? How is that possible? You have to think about these things, brothers. There's a lot for us to do in the community, and we have to be the change. We have to make that change. We have to make those efforts. I spoke about it 2 weeks ago when I addressed you all. How many of your children are on the school councils? If they're not, get them involved. How many of you are parent governors? If not, get involved. Yeah, get involved in politics. Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, look at Hilful Fudul, I mentioned it 2 weeks ago. Yeah, who did he work with? Look at it. He read up on it. I haven't got time to go into it. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, and I conclude on this hadith, Man ra'a minkum munkara, if any of you see anything that is wrong, فَلْيُغَيِّرْهُ بِيَدِهِ, then take some action against it. Use your hands to change it, meaning take some action against it. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ, and if you don't have any ability to take action, then at least speak out against it. And then Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, if you come to the third category, فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِقَلْبِ, you can't take any action, you can't speak out against it, at least in your heart, feel that you know what, this is something that is wrong. Because Allah Ta'ala has told us in the noble Quran, we hear it so often in the Jumu'ah khutbah, كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةٍ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ, you are the best of people who have been taken out for mankind. تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, enjoin and encourage that which is good, وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ, and stop people from doing that which is wrong. This is our responsibility. How many of you know what IAM stands for, relating to the month of November? Anyone? G? Yes, Islamophobia Awareness Month. November is Islamophobia Awareness Month. So if you know of someone, and if you need help, yeah, my phone number is outside on the notice board. It's on your annual timetable like the one there. Yeah, it's on the website. If you are affected by Islamophobia and you find that you're not getting anywhere, contact me any time of day or night. If I don't answer, send me a text message. Don't send me a WhatsApp, send me a text message. Moulana, this has happened, I urgently need your help. I will then, inshallah, put you in touch with the right people to speak to get you the right help. But if you're going to suffer in silence, say, oh, what's Moulana going to do? Oh, who's going to help me? Who's going to worry about me? Then unfortunately, this is not a good thing. The ummah doesn't work like that. The ummah is like this, strong together. Inshallah. So keep this in mind, inshallah. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa ma alayna illa al-balaghul mubin. Brothers, can I ask all of you to stand up and move forward, please, inshallah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
Dear brothers, brothers are coming around with the collection bags. We understand we all have bills to pay at home. That is our masjid, and our masjid is our responsibility. And you know, last week, Jumuah's collection, and when we say a Jumu'ah collection, it's from after Jumu'ah today, right the way through till next week, Friday. And if I can tell you, going by the amount of musallis that attended, and if you have to take the amount that was donated, not to say we don't appreciate your donation, there was, if we're lucky, on average 50p per person. What do you get for 50p nowadays? Yeah? Nothing. The food places are still very, very busy. Yeah? We will pay 20, 30 quid for a steak and still complain about it afterwards. Yeah? Maybe everyone can't afford it, but those that do, yeah? You want to go for a burger? Can you get a decent burger meal for £5 today? No. But the house of Allah is our responsibility, meaning all of us, collectively. And I'm reminding you of our collective responsibility. If you don't give, you should feel in your heart. Yeah, and this is something, last week when I was at Scraptoff, I was speaking about some project that we've got going there, inshallah, is that blessed are those whose pockets are utilized for the house of Allah and for the work of Allah. Yeah? Because as a Muslim, you have firm belief. You know, it's not just about giving charity. It's more about the rewards and the blessings that you are going to get because you are looking after your masjid. Yeah? We don't have big oil wells and everything that we are living off that we can afford to run the masjid. You may even notice now the heating is off. Yeah? Some people come to the masjid and complain why the toilet doesn't have a fancy bidet. Yeah? Why we don't have fancy hot and cold water sensor taps. Why the heating is not on, why the carpet is not comfortable. Yeah? For those of you, and sadly very few unfortunately compared to the amount of people we get here, many people didn't come for the Seerah exhibition. One highlight of it was you got to see on VR, and some of you may have seen that video floating around, about what Masjid of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam looked like. First of all, you are sitting on comfortable carpet. You know, when we got it installed, I told Brother Imtiaz at Rainbow Carpets, go support them. Because they fitted this carpet and supplied the underlay free of charge. I said to him, I want the best underlay, Cloud 9. And that also a thick one, a good quality one, so that we are comfortable. But in the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there was no carpet. If you were lucky, there was a straw mat there. And we all know what it's like to sit on a straw mat when you're sitting on the beachfront. Yeah? That's intentionally we're sitting on that. This is in the masjid. There was no proper roof to protect you from all the elements. There was no heaters or fans or anything like that. Can you imagine how hard it would be for us to live as Muslims in the time of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? It's our masjid, our responsibility. Donate as much as you can because it's for your own good. It's not going to benefit me. And it's sad if we don't give here, but we've got money to waste anywhere else. May Allah Ta'ala accept from us, inshallah. Jazakumullah. Brothers, at the backs of, can you just hop over everyone, please, and just move there. On that side, there's a lot of space. In the front, this whole stuff is like empty. Keep the back empty. Rooms are empty, brothers, come on. Fill up the rooms, brothers. Come on. Quickly, inshallah. A little bit of effort.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Fill up the room also.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله الذي جعل الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر القدوة الأعظم في الدين وبعث له النبيين أجمعين. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمد عبده ورسوله الذي بلغ ما أنزل إليه من ربه ورب العالمين، صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه الذين كانوا يسعون بالحق ولا يخافون في الله لومة لائمين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تعالى: ولتكن منكم أمة يدعون إلى الخير ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر وأولئك هم المفلحون. وقال النبي صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم: من رأى منكم منكرا فليغيره بيده، فإن لم يستطع فبلسانه، فإن لم يستطع فبقلبه، وذلك أضعف الإيمان. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. خذ العفو وأمر بالعرف وأعرض عن الجاهلين. بارك الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. إن الحمد لله يستعينه واستغفره، ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا، من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي ساعة. من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد، ومن يعصيهما فإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك، وصل على المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات، وبارك على محمد وأزواجه وذريته. قال النبي صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم: أرحم أمتي بأمتي أبو بكر، وأشدهم في أمر الله عمر، وأصدقهم حياء عثمان، وأقضاهم علي، وفاطمة سيدة نساء أهل الجنة، والحسن والحسين سيدا شباب أهل الجنة، وحمزة أسد الله وأسد رسوله رضوان الله تعالى عليهم وعن كل صحابة أجمعين. اللهم اغفر للعباس وولده مغفرة ظاهرة وباطنة لا تغادر ذنبا. الله في أصحابي لا تتخذوهم غرضا من بعدي، فمن أحبهم فبحبي أحبهم، ومن أبغضهم فببغضي أبغضهم، وخير أمتي قرني ثم الذين يلونهم ثم الذين يلونهم. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين، اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين، اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين والمؤمنين في كل مكان يا رب العالمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين، وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين، ويا قاضي الحاجات اقض حاجاتنا وحاجات المسلمين. اللهم احفظ الحرمين الشريفين والمسجد الأقصى المبارك، واجعل هذا البلد آمنا مطمئنا. والسلطان ذل الله في الأرض، من أهان سلطان الله في الأرض يهانه الله. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى، وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي، يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم، ولذكر الله تعالى أعلى وأولى وأعز وجل وأهم وأتم وأكبر، والله يعلم ما تصنعون. سووا صفوفكم. Please straighten your rows, no gaps in between, please. Please keep on moving forward. Brothers at the back, move forward. There's lots of space. Lots of space. If there's space in the front, keep moving forward and stand close together. Shoulders must be touching. Heels should be on the line. Sorry, can I get this for a second?
الله أكبر الله أكبر، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح، قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين، إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين، اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. هل أتاك حديث الغاشية؟ وجوه يومئذ خاشعة عاملة ناصبة تصلى نارا حامية تسقى من عين آنية ليس لهم طعام إلا من ضريع لا يسمن ولا يغني من جوع. وجوه يومئذ ناعمة لسعيها راضية في جنة عالية لا تسمع فيها لاغية فيها عين جارية فيها سرر مرفوعة وأكواب موضوعة ونمارق مصفوفة وزرابي مبثوثة. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين، إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين، اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت وإلى السماء كيف رفعت وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت. فذكر إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر إلا من تولى وكفر فيعذبه الله العذاب الأكبر. إن إلينا إيابهم ثم إن علينا حسابهم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الله أكبر. استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام، تباركت ربنا وتعاليت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. اللهم رب ارحمهما كما ربيانا صغيرا. اللهم الحمنا مراشدنا وأعذنا من شرور أنفسنا. اللهم رب اجعلنا مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتنا ربنا وتقبل دعاء. اللهم ربنا اغفر لنا ولوالدينا وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. اللهم ربنا أرنا مناسكنا وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم إنا نسألك من كل خير ما سألك منه نبيك وحبيبك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، ونعوذ بك من كل شر ما استعاذ منه نبيك وحبيبك وعبدك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وأنت المستعان وعليك البلاغ، ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.